everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie just dropped on Netflix, To All the Boys, Always and Forever, and this movie is starring Noah Centineo, Lana Condor, and this movie is directed by Michael Filmognari, and this movie is the third movie in this movie franchise, To All the Boys. So this movie does start with very beautiful shot of Korea, the Seoul city. That city is so pretty. I have seen other videos from that city. It's really pretty because Laura Zin, she is from there. Like her mom is from Korea and her dad is, well, white, you know the character. And in this movie, she goes there, like the movie start with that, and then she come back to her city. So in this movie, Laura Zin and Peter deeply in love. They both plan to go to Stanford together. When Laura Zin doesn't get into Stanford, she gets into Berkeley, and then they always had planned to go together, but she doesn't. Then there is this movie, it starts with this conflict between this character, especially when Laura Zin, she had hard time telling Peter that she didn't get into Stanford, she got into Berkeley. Later in this movie, when she goes to New York City on her school trip, she falls in love with New York City and she decided to go to NYU. So I must say, when I was watching this movie, I was like bored out of my mind. I was like, what am I watching here? These characters, all of them are so boring. Nothing is going on here. This conflict here is like a made-up conflict. She just goes to New York and fell into love with that city. Who loved New York City? I've been there. I didn't like New York City. It's not that great. But I feel like Lara, she really fell in love with that. Then, of course, she has difficulty. She fell in love with the city, and also somehow she gets into NYU, but she cannot get into Stanford. She gets into Berkeley, everywhere else. Does it make sense to everyone? I was like, wow, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, this character, she's so smart, obviously, but she doesn't get into the college she dreamed to go with her boyfriend. And also, like, Peter character here, Noah Centineo in this movie. Noah Centineo, by the way, one of the rising star in Hollywood. Basically, he's the next Dwayne Johnson here. He's gonna be next He-Man. So I did see he's visibly so big in this movie. He looked so big. So many people were doubting if he's able to get big or not. But he did get big in this movie. I saw him. So I was like, oh, because he's preparing for that role. And also he's going to be in Black Adam, playing a younger version of Dwayne Johnson's character in that movie. Very interesting. So I thought Noah Centineo in this movie, he looked bored out of his mind. So many times his face was like, what am I doing here? Why Netflix is keep putting me in this movie? Because he's Netflix star, you know. He's in all Netflix movie. Most of them I have seen him lately. He is good though, some of them. But in this movie, he looked like he's really bored. He had no charisma at all. No charm, nothing. And Laura Zin's character played by Lana Condor. I don't know this actress. I never seen her. Maybe I have seen her in X-Men movies. She had zero charm either in this movie. These two lead actors, they look like they're sleeping in this movie. They have zero charm, nothing. And Laura character, she has everything. I don't know why she's so sad. I mean, like, her mom passed away a long time ago, I guess. But like, she just looks so sad. She's deeply in love. She's in New York City. She should be enjoying her life. Instead, she's just eating cupcake. Is that what you think young people like cupcake? I don't think so. I don't think young people, they eat that much cookie or cupcake. Mainly because they don't want to get fat. Those things make you fat. I don't eat that much cupcake because I'm already so fat. Watching all these people going after cookie and cupcake, and I'm like, are you kidding me, people? Nobody eat those things. Nobody, trust me. Not that they don't look good. Of course, they look good. This thing, they are yummy looking. But nobody want to eat them because you don't want to get, you know, what I mean. So I thought this movie doesn't have any, like, interesting thing going on. The only thing was interesting when they went to New York City and was showing you some sightseeing, which is like, that's what people do, I guess, in New York City. They didn't show how busy the streets are, how dirty the subway are sometimes. That's a fact, honestly. That means that... I'm not saying like you shouldn't move to New York City, but I'm just saying the life is hard over there. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. definitely you can't have everything there. Its life is so hard. So when she decided to move there, leave everything she has behind, I was a little annoyed. I guess this movie isn't like as interesting I was hoping, especially when I did see a lot of people are anticipated for this movie. For those people, I don't know, they will be kind of disappointed watching this movie, especially during the Valentine time. This movie didn't live up to the expectation. I feel like that means I really like one enjoying all the sightseeing still. So I was really bored watching this movie. That was my thought on this movie. Normally I'm not this much harsh on movies, but this movie really bored me. And I have to be honest here. And that was my thought on this movie. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to subscribe and please take care.